The day of casting Alchemy League Season 7. Just 1 second as I finish setting up things, because of course I have to always take too long. Sorry about that. Okay, so today always take too long, and I keep forgetting to mute myself, or rather today my stream. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's jump into the sets we have for today, or at least the drafts. Hello? Okay, now it works. Perfect. So, our first set is going to be Max Power, also known as Mark Landers, against Pl0tterGhost. So, let's quickly introduce the players. So, Max Power, as you can see, around 1700. Currently sitting at 1650, but he has a highest of 1700. He is a fellow player from Italy, and he has been playing in the league since the space season, if I'm not mistaken. So he has experience when it comes to these kind of maps, and his opponent is going to be Pl0tterGhost. Now, Pl0tterGhost, as you can see, he's slightly lower when it comes to elo. There's going to be about a 150 elo disadvantage for Pl0tterGhost, but Pl0tterGhost has been playing the league for longer. Now, I don't remember specifically which season he came in, but I know for sure he was already in the league during the Alaska-themed season. So, technically speaking, he's going to have more experience than Mark Landers when it comes to, custom maps. Hello, Tech. Welcome, welcome. So, with introductions out of the way, let's take a look at the draft. So, this set was played in round 5 of Spring 2, or rather, round 1 of Spring 2, which is round 5 overall when it comes to the whole league, to the whole season, sorry. And so, the map for game 1 is going to be Paradise Island, and the players, they just picked Shipwrecked, or rather left Shipwreck open as the map for game 2. Now, as for civs, we have the usual 5 random bands. So, Lithuanians, Magyars, Mayans, Bengalis, and Aztecs. Lithuanians, they're kind of a very good civ. Especially when you have a map like Paradise Island, which is hybrid, and then you have Shipwreck, where the food is pretty scarce. So, having that extra 100 food really helps. Okay, Tech is confirming that Pl0tterGhost has been in the league since the very beginning, despite not playing season 2 and 3. Okay. So he basically has played 5 seasons so far. Okay, so as for civs, Max Power, Mark Landers, I'm probably going to be calling him Mark Landers. He banned Persians and Italians, and was left with Dravidians, Ethiopians, and Portuguese after getting his Mongols pick sniped. Pl0tterGhost, on the other hand, after getting the Koreans sniped, was left with Saracens, Georgians, and Burgundians, and he banned Byzantines and Japanese. Okay. So, on one hand, I'm a bit surprised by the fact that Pl0tterGhost, he banned Japanese, which are an amazing civ when it comes to hybrid maps, but then didn't bother to snipe Dravidians and instead sniped Mongols, because it kind of looked like he wanted to get rid of the good water map civs. But at the same time, you see Mongols, I think you snipe Mongols, right? So that makes sense, especially when you consider that on Paradise Islands you have. Oh, actually, I just noticed Paradise Islands. Wouldn't it be Paradise Island, like on one? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, on that map you start with 3 boars, and you still have the tiers. So Mongols can be amazing on that one, despite not really being a water map civ. And of course, on Shipwreck you have chickens lying around, so Mongols really help with that. I like Pl0tterGhost's picks. Georgians, they are strong overall on any map. Saracens, same. It's the same, right? They can be strong everywhere for different reasons from Georgians. Burgundians are a personal favorite of mine, so I'm happy to see that. I mean, I was looking at it, and I guess you could say there's two islands. One is the donut-shaped one, and one is the one in the middle. But I would say only the one in the middle should be a Paradise Island because of the amount of relics. I don't know. Anyway, enough about that. Let me change scene, and let's jump straight into the game, shall we? Okay. So here we are, game 1. Oh wait, did I? Oh, sorry, I loaded the wrong game because this is game 2, because it's on Shipwreck. So, oops, slight spoiler for game 2. Here we go. Game 1, Paradise Island, we have Dravidians for Marklanders, and we have Burgundians for Pl0tterGhost. Okay. So, Dravidians kind of expected, right? There's water. You want to use that water with the fish. But Burgundians can be interesting. So, I think they are kind of... Oh, Pl0tterGhost going forward with the Vil and the Scout. Is he going to limp this? Okay, so this was played in the previous patch, right? So back when you could still kill the boar with the military unit and it would yield no food, but yeah, Pl0tterGhost gets hit because the boar will aggro the Vil when you shoot it. But after a while, despite being there, it will lose the aggro. So Pl0tterGhost attacked the boar when he didn't really need to. And now, yeah, now he's not going to lame it with the Scout, he's just going to kill it far away from the TC. I'll be honest, when you have... Ooh, Marklanders will lose a Vil to the Lion. Ooh, he won't, okay. He also got lucky because sometimes the Lion is going to be able to hit through the palisades. But yeah, back to my point. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of laming when you have 3 boars and deer, right? Because most people are going to be... I mean, having 3 boars is not really going to help you go up faster unless you're Mongols, compared to a standard build, because you still need to send Vils to the wood. So you're basically trading Scout HP and not realistically delaying your opponent. Of course, your eco is going to be better if you have extra boars in the long run, because you do not have to switch to other kind of land food that fast. But it doesn't really change the timings. And having that Scout HP is probably more important than having extra food. But I mean, that's just my opinion. I know there's a lot of people who agree with me. So yeah, I mean, if you're going for laming, you just have to do it very, very heavy. So do not just take a boar, maybe kill some deers or take 2 boars. If you're doing that, then sure, it's great. But just 1 boar is not going to be making that much of a difference. And it could actually be a disadvantage. But enough about that. So let's go back to civs 1 second, because there was all of that happening, the boar and the Vil. So I didn't really talk about civs. Dravidians, as I said, great choice. You got the water. If you want to switch from water to land, it's quite easy because of the extra 200 wood that you get. So doing a hybrid build is, I want to say, I think it's probably the one civ with which it's easiest to do that. I would say Celts and Japanese are probably second to Dravidians. Especially if you're also trying to get Man-at-Arms in there, because you know your Man-at-Arm upgrade is going to be costing less. So yeah, overall, Dravidians are amazing if you're going for a hybrid build, or if you're going for a full water build. So, great choice here. Now, Burgundians, they tend to be kind of underrated. They tend to be seen mostly as a closed map civ, because of how good their eco is, but it takes time for that eco to get going, and it's not like with, I don't know, Romans or Vikings, where you get that eco advantage for free because it's part of your bonuses. No, with Burgundians you have to invest. You have to get double BDX, for example, in Dark Age. You might want to get Horse Collar in Dark Age. You will get maybe Bowsaw in Castle Age. So sure, your eco is going to be amazing, but you need an upfront investment for that, right? So there are those small windows where you have spent the resources, but the techs haven't really paid back from themselves. So you are actually kind of weaker than your opponent at that point. So that's why people tend to see them as a closed map civilization. Personally, I like them on every map, and on this one in particular, you have relics, like a lot of them, in the middle. And Burgundians, they have this small team bonus, which says that the relics generate food in addition to gold. Now, the rate at which they generate food, I think it's the same as the gold rate. So that's pretty good. And then, if you win the water and you want to boom on that, you can just get Gilnet in feudal discounted, so they can have a decent water boom. But look at this. So, Marklanders, he's in feudal age. He's now making the fishing ships, and he's going for land aggression. And I think Pl0tterGhost, yeah, he doesn't know about that. So Pl0tterGhost is probably going to be adding some water. He doesn't know about the enemy's dock. He knows he hasn't taken the board yet. Or rather, at all. But it's going to be archers for Marklanders with fletching. So Pl0tterGhost is going to get hit quite fast and quite hard. He's going for scouts though. But Marklanders, maybe he saw the stable. He's already adding... Okay, he doesn't know about the stable, but he's adding the spear. Probably expecting that Burgundians, if they go for some kind of land aggression, they're going for... They're going to go for scouts. Okay, now Pl0tterGhost knows about the archer ranges, so he drops a range of his own. Actually, 2 ranges. Now, the fact that he could drop a stable and 2 ranges is just a testament to how strong the Burgundian eco can get, because he got double BDX in Dark Age. So yes, he was slower to feudal because he had to invest in food into that tech. But now the wood is going to be flying for him. And he is ahead by 700 resources collected compared to his opponent. So yeah, he's going to get hit on the woodline, and it's kind of unfortunate for him that the 2 closest woodlines he has to his TC are on the same side. I mean, you could argue that this is at the same distance. Army is quite similar, so we have 5 skirmishers already for Pl0tterGhost, so he's going to be able to fight back. No armor still, but this should be enough to keep Marklanders off his back. Honestly, the only melee units Marklanders has at the moment are the spearmen and the scouts. So if they just run in here, where the skirmishers are, you could actually take the villagers and fight off the scout and the spear with villagers, and take down the archers and these skirmishers with their own skirmishers. Also, Pl0tterGhost sent the fire ship forward. Of course, he's busy microing here, so that's why he's not killing the fish. And thinking about it, this is something that I've seen Marklanders do in other sets as well. So I'm thinking back when we were playing the space-themed season, which I believe was season 5, if I'm not mistaken. We have so many seasons right now that I kind of forget which season was which. But I remember on the 4 Lakes like map we had in that season, which was Singularity, he played it similar to this, right? So he did go for a dock, but he didn't bother. No, actually he didn't bother with water at all on that map. He just went for land aggression. And he probably expected people to invest so much into water that they wouldn't have the resources necessary to react in time on land. And it actually paid off a couple of times. So I'm starting to think this is his standard approach to hybrid maps. And he'll probably take water control later on to use... actually, he's killing the fish. I just noticed this. So he kills the fish. Pl0tterGhost is going to be off gold. Not that he was making any gold units to begin with, because he's mostly making skirmishers. I mean, Pl0tterGhost has so many veils on wood that he could realistically eventually drop a market and sell resources to get the gold necessary to go up, if he wanted to. But now we have a military advantage for Marklanders. And sure, they're both playing skirmishers, they both have fletching and they're both missing the first armor upgrade, but keep in mind that these are Dravidian skirmishers, so they attack faster. So it's actually very easy to micro with Dravidian skirmishers. Normally it's kind of a pain to micro with skirms because of how delayed the attack is compared to archers. But with Dravidians, it's actually quite smooth. It's quite smooth and it doesn't feel as overpowered as it feels to micro, for example, Ethiopian archers. Now those are, it feels dirty to to micro those. Same with the Mangodai or Human Kipchaks. These, they feel smooth, but they feel fair, if anything. Okay, so Rest Collected has shifted. It used to be 900 ahead for Pl0tterGhost, it's now 600 ahead for Marklanders. Both players, they lost water, and they're not trying to add any fish to it. Now Marklanders is going to add some fire galleys. Just one fire galley probably to kill this one. Yeah, because the moment he gets rid of this, he knows he can add fish, because he's going to take down Pl0tterGhost's dock. He knows Pl0tterGhost is off gold. He knows he made a tower here, so he cannot make a tower here to secure this gold. And Marklanders is going to click up in a moment. Yeah, sells wood. He still has 100 stone if he wants to drop TCs. And he's actually going for some extra stone, so he could really... By the time he gets the castle, he might be able to drop 2 extra TCs. Because he will get 200 extra wood to bring the Radiance. Or honestly, with these 2 veils forward, he could even opt for a TC at home and a siege workshop here, because he will get extra wood, but then his siege is going to also be cheaper when it comes to wood. So that's one of the strengths of Dravidians, right? You get that extra wood, and it really helps with basically everything. It's a bonus which really helps you to adapt. So let's say you're playing archers. Generally speaking, an archer save, the moment they get to castle, they have to decide between, you know, a university for ballistics or a second TC right away. Dravidians, your university is going to be basically for free because it's paid by your bonus. So you can go into that, or you can drop the TC and still add the university for ballistics quite early on. You can drop the TC and, as I mentioned, the siege workshop, and you're going to have the wood still for the siege weapons because they cost less wood. It's a very good bonus overall. Now, as I say, all of that is going to be neither of those options. So no second TC. Oh, okay, there's the siege workshop. Okay, I'm blind. Siege workshop, we have both Bodkin and crossbow coming in. He could have gotten Elite Skirm if he wanted to, but he knows his opponent is not up to castle yet. Already, or rather, he doesn't know, he hasn't clicked, but he sees he is still in feudal. So he knows if he gets crossbow now, he still has the range advantage. It's actually going to be 2 more range than these skirms. So crossbows are going to be enough to kill the skirms. And crossbows will also easily kill Vils. And we have an armored elephant for Mark Landers, who he's going to push from the south. Now let's see whether he goes for the house or the market. I wouldn't be too surprised if he went for the market, right? Because you know you're starving your opponent for gold. So yeah. The market at the moment is the only way that Pl0tterGhost is getting gold. So you take that one down. It's going to be harder for him to get upgrades or to switch into other units. And realistically, Burgundians, the moment they get to castle, they want to switch into knights, because you can get Cavalier in Castle Age. You still lack bloodlines, but if you get Cavalier, it's basically... It has the same stats as a standard knight in Castle Age, but he has +2 attack. So same HP, same armor, and whatnot, but 2 more attack. But no, Pl0tterGhost knows he doesn't have the gold access, so he's going for an archer range. And I think we're going to be seeing, yeah, Elite Skirm and Bodkin. And with this amount of skirms, it might be enough to fend off this army. Of course, it's not going to be enough against the elephants, but you can just pull the Vils and attack the elephants with those. I wouldn't be too surprised if he took this fight now that... Yeah, there we go. Elite Skirm coming in, so you now take the fight. You have Bodkin. You need to be careful to target the crossbows and to not attack move, because otherwise the skirms will attack the elephants automatically. But now the elephants are exposed, you can just hit them with Vils. And now you can take care of the army. Mark Landers, though, he knows about the skirm mass. He's going to add scorpions. He's already getting ballistics, so this is going to help with both the scorpions and the crossbows. It's going to be easier for crossbows to pick villagers. And it's going to be easier for scorpions to take the fight. Okay, behind this, Mark Landers adding the second TC. He is already ahead by 8 Vils. Or rather, 8 eco, it's actually 3 Vils ahead. Because he has the fishing ships. Now, Pl0tterGhost, sadly enough, he's not really making use of his advantage as Burgundians. He's missing the eco-tax. He does have a monastery. No monk on the way. He's going to try and take down the siege workshop with the villagers, but that's not a good choice. Right, because this mangonel is going to pop out. Ooh, actually, slight mistake from Marklanders. He should have waited for the mangonel to finish creating, and then you pop out with the mangonel and you shoot the villagers. So the mangonel will go down. I think. Let's see. Yeah, mangonel goes down, so now you can dive with the skirms. There's another one coming though, and you should be expecting that. Yeah, Pl0tterGhost does not want to go near to that workshop. He will eventually have to switch from this woodline to fully to this one. Because this is going to be exposed to the mangonel fire. But look at this. Marklanders, he's not on gold. He's not on gold, but he has the food eventually for going up to Imp. He does have the buildings, because he has a siege workshop and a university, because we saw ballistics coming in. Pl0tterGhost, okay, he's now going for the Reichs. That's good. Because that way he's going to have actually some gold income, because this one was negated. His other gold was all the way out there, but that's where Marklander's buildings are. Actually, both players are kind of struggling for gold, right? I don't think Marklanders knows. Yeah, he doesn't know about this, sadly, and he doesn't know about this one as well. Okay, does Pl0tterGhost know about that? Okay, Pl0tterGhost does, and he knows about this one as well. He is going to be up against Imperial units though. And we know... So we know that Marklanders is not taking any gold. But Pl0tterGhost doesn't know that. So if he sees Imperial from Marklanders, he might be thinking, oh god, now Arbalesters are coming. Chemistry, bombard cannons, all of that. And he might be thinking that he doesn't see new units because Marklanders is saving resources for the upgrades. But in reality... Ooh! No, 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 no. Oh, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, please. Oh. Yikes. Yeah, that was a sick shot. Okay, there's the castle from Marklanders. Pl0tterGhost sitting on 2 relics. He's going for the 3rd. Of course, he has to babysit the skirmishers. So also migrating the ship to go to relics and take them back is going to be a chore. And we see forging for Marklanders, so maybe an infantry switch coming from him. Yeah. Okay, so we see the infantry upgrades, but we see... Okay, we see Gambesons, but we do not see the Man-at-Arm upgrade. Ooh, nice shot. Nice shot from Pl0tterGhost. I think it was... Yeah, at least for one of them it was an uphill shot. Or rather, a shot from uphill. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was the same. We did not see the Man-at-Arm upgrade, but we see infantry upgrades. Gambesons is not really needed, but it's going to be Urumi for Marklanders. Now this unit is interesting. Okay, and now he... Okay, now he saw the gold and he's going out there. And he's already taking this one. So Marklanders is taking all of the gold on the map, except for this one, but he kind of negated that. So Urumi, as you can see, they have a charge attack, which gives them 12 extra damage. they deal splash damage, so they can damage units around them, and that applies to the charge attack. So the moment you get unique attack, which is wood steel, right, which makes them ignore armor along with other infantry and cavalry, and you get the elite. I think the elite gets, I think it's plus 21 charge attack. So yeah, with all of the upgrades, they become a very scary unit to face in melee. They still lose quite badly to ranged units because, as you can see, they have no armor whatsoever and they do not have that many HP. But that said, the only ranged units Marklanders is facing are skirmishers, which are not exactly known to be that fierce. That said, there's a lot of skirms here, but look at how fast they go down. Look at that. Yeah, it's the Whipper Boys, and they're going to whip these skirmishers out of existence. Well, apparently javelins are stronger than whips in real combat, who would have thought? But we do have arson in, so they're going to be able to get through buildings. The charge attack does not work on buildings, by the way. And we have Imperial from Pl0tterGhost. And Pl0tterGhost has slowly but steadily been taking relics. He will not be able to take this one, I think, because it's within range of the castle. And, I mean, so Burgundians actually do have the instruments to deal with Urumi, because they do have, what's it called, hand cannons, which are actually stronger because they have plus 25% attack. The problem is that they require imp and they require gold. So Pl0tterGhost will be able to get to imp, I think, but he will not have the gold to make chemistry and hand cannons, and we just saw how quickly those went down. Actually, let's go back a bit, because that was, yeah. So, yeah, units, they just melt. Look at that. And this is without the unique tech in. And without attack upgrades missing. And it's the standard unit, not the elite version. Now we have 4 monasteries for Marklanders. He probably remembered about the relics. There's 5 in for Pl0tterGhost. We'll take a look at the end of the game how much gold he got from those. But okay, imp is not going to get denied, right? Yeah, will not get denied. But Pl0tterGhost calls the GG and says good luck next round. Wait. Let me check something real quick. Because now I'm getting... No, okay, Paradise Islands was supposed to be game 1. Oh, maybe they... Okay, maybe by mistake they played Shipwreck game 1 and Paradise Island game 2. It doesn't make a difference as long as they play the right maps. Okay. Okay, that would explain. Alright, so Marklanders takes the first game. With a very strong show, but I mean, the way he played this map shows how strong aggression can be here. And that's because you do not have that much access to resources, especially gold and stone. There isn't that many on the map. There are 2 golds per player, which is nothing. And only one of those is close to the base. The other one tends to generate on the edge of the island, close to the coastline. So denying that gold can basically win you the game, right? If you can deny that gold and keep some map control, then yeah, your opponent will struggle because he will have no gold whatsoever. Also, one thing I've seen in most games I've played on this map, it eventually, if it goes late, it eventually becomes a wood issue. Because I know there's a lot of wood lines, but they're kind of deceiving because there's a lot, but they're not that big, and they tend to run out quite fast. And if you want to move to the next one, you will actually need to have map control. So if you're being pressured, it's quite hard to get wood. But yeah. Let's see statistics. Again. Oh yeah, economy. Is it here? The rally gold? Yeah. 181 gold, so it should be the same amount of food, thanks to the Burgundian bonus, which is nice, I guess. But he was behind Nico for so long, so yeah, I couldn't really make use of the Burgundian bonuses. Okay. Let me load up game 2. Which is going to be okay, this one. Which is going to be on Shipwreck. Okay, here we go. So we have Ethiopians for Marklanders and Saracens for Pl0tterGhost. Okay, interesting choices. So the thing about Shipwreck is that it plays out very aggressive, and you're a bit starving for resources because there's no boar, there's no deers. The only extra food you have accessible is the chickens, which actually the 2 flocks, they actually hold as much food as a deer patch and 2 boars combined, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe slightly less, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be a huge difference. You do start with your 4 geese, but then the extra ones you get, they can spawn in awkward ways, and they spawn quite far away from your TC. So as you can see, there were 2 of them here, which were Pl0tterghosts, and then the 2 for Marklanders are over here. So and then there's these 2, yeah, which I guess are Pl0tterghosts. So it's quite easy to get lamed on this map, but people can lame you even without actually trying to do it, right? Because let's say your geese, they all spawn on this side, and you're going to check that side because you know they spawn far away from your TC. You take the 50-50, and then your opponent goes here to look for his, and he goes, well, I'm already here, I might as well go check him out, and he goes this way. He's going to unknowingly lame you because of how close you are to each other and how close the geese spawn to each other. Now there's extra geese on the outside, on the outer ring, but as you can see, they hold less food. So you get a group of 4, which basically counts as a single extra goose. Which, I mean, is nothing to, you're not going to be sad about finding extra food, but it's not amazing. Now you could also go for fish for your food. But as you can see, yeah, if you want to have the villager on shorefish, then it's going to happen on the outside. You cannot dock closer to your TC because there's no shorefish close to the inner shoreline. Which means that the villager is going to be more exposed. And the deep fish generation can sometimes be very weird because in this situation, Marklanders has a good spot. Yeah, and if Pl0tterGhost went here, he will have a good spot as well. But sometimes you see generations where you have this and this, but you do not have this. So you really need to be scouting the fish. Luckily, you can go on some parts of the water with the scout. It's not easy to see here. It's actually easier to see on the minimap. So you can see there's a path, and there. So it would be like this. And like this, but you cannot go here with the scout. Okay, Marklanders knows about the importance of exploring, and he's going around to get the keys. I mean, to be fair, it's a map where you spawn very close to your opponent, so once you know in which general direction your opponent has spawned, you can just go to the outside. Okay, so for the time being, nothing too weird about these builds. Okay, Marklanders gets shot a little bit by the TC. Okay, so Pl0tterGhost went for the mill. So I'm guessing he's going to be struggling for the wood necessary for the fishing ships, because he also have 4 on wood instead of 5. Which is the standard amount you would say. Okay, now he's sending the 5th. That said, though, this might not be too bad because of the lack of food. So yeah, you're going to have less fishing ships. Actually, 2 mills, okay. And he's not Japanese, he's Saracens. So, back to what I was saying. This might be not too bad, because yes, you're going to be behind in fishing ships, but I think if you rely on fish only, you might have a very late uptime here. So I don't mind the 2 mills. I mean, Marklanders went for a mill himself. Actually went for a second. Okay, he delayed the second, and so he's on 3 fishing ships. Hey Tinia, welcome. Okay, so uptimes are going to be quite close. We've seen, yeah, there it is. I was about to say we've seen a lot of Man-at-Arm aggression on this map. Now, this timing doesn't scream Man-at-Arms at me, because, I mean, the barracks is going to be up by the time he gets the feudal. So it's going to be a little bit late to make the militia and the Man-at-Arm upgrade. He's not on gold, so... Okay, no, okay, now he's going to gold. So I think this is going to be straight archers. I think. Yeah, no militia at all. Yeah, going for the range straight away. So Marklanders, he should be seeing this thanks to the... Yeah. Yeah, he'll see the archer range go up. Which is nice, because he was later, so now he can go archer range himself. And he could potentially open skirms instead of archers. I know he wanted to open archers because of the gold, but he's going to know he's behind. He's going to be behind in the production. So he might as well just open skirms. He's Ethiopians though. So if he can get some nice micro behind that, he might actually win the fight still. But we'll see. Okay, now he's making the fires, which is not something we saw in the previous game. Whereas Pl0tterGhost, he's not. But to be fair, Pl0tterGhost only has a single fishing ship, so he might not be caring too much about the water. Okay, first archer for Marklanders goes down. Fletching coming in for both players, but we have two archers from Pl0tterGhost, only one for Marklanders. Yeah, he's going to drop the second range. Second range for Pl0tterGhost as well. I don't necessarily like the fact that it is so far away. Because if Marklanders plays this in a smart way, he's going to be able to catch the archers in between the two ranges before they can group up. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I would have preferred to see it like over there. Because Marklanders is going to be able to just mess up behind the archer range right here and then move out. If he wants to. Okay, so I'm a little bit surprised we're seeing no market from the Saracen player. He's floating quite a bit of wood, so I wouldn't mind to see a market. Just okay, there it is. He's now behind in archer numbers, and he is Saracens against the Ethiopians. Ethiopians who already have the armor as well. So this market might get denied. Okay, no, it's going up. But Pl0tterGhost might want to start considering switching into skirmishers here. He doesn't have water anymore because the fire killed the single fishing ship. And Marklanders knows about that, so eventually he could even consider dropping extra docks. Okay, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, single fire for the Saracens. House. Okay, the woodland does. You know, okay, the woodland is denied. Marklanders is very close to clicking up. Yeah, I mean, the moment this fill comes out, he's going to be able to click up. Maybe we'll have to force drop some food. No, okay. There we go. Whereas Pl0tterGhost, I doubt he's going to be able to click up by the time Marklanders gets to Castle Age. And these archers will find a lot of kills. They might be able to kill... I wouldn't say everything, but... Okay, okay, no, because there's the archers. Kill the archers first, and then you can kill the vills. Yep. These archers are weak, though. Yeah, they just kill everything now. Yeah, Pl0tterGhost needs to run. Okay, he calls the GG. Okay, there. That was... Okay, that was fast. Which is interesting, because I believe the last time we casted this map, it went on for a while. I forget who it was. I remember it was Chinese. And they went for basically everything they had access to. We saw fire lancers, we saw pikes, we saw crossbows, we saw chukonus. That was a nice game, but I forget who it was. Anyway. So Marklanders takes the set to 0. I think it was a mistake for Pl0tterGhost to not switch into... into skirmishers. So it feels a bit weird sometimes to have to do that when you already have 8 veils on gold. But at the same time, you're Saracens and you have a market, so you're not going to be just sitting on that gold like any other civ would be doing, right? You can just abuse the market, use that gold to get some food and wood needed for the skirmishers, drop some eco behind. I think you can play it that way. But yeah, at the end of the day, you're facing Ethiopian archers, which never feels good to do because of how strong they are. Also, Marklanders, I would say a better understanding of the map, right? Expanding for the fish, getting the extra one. He went for the outside geese. Pl0tterGhost, he did find some geese, but he never bothered sending them home. So, all things considered, I think... yeah, Marklanders just played this one better. Okay, so that was our first set. Let's go back to the draft and take a look at the second one we have for today. Alright, so our second set is going to be Lion against Jasouki. Okay, so we're seeing the civ draft right now because this one was played on round-wide, so there was no map draft. Each player chose a map and just played those. So let's talk a bit about the players. Jasouki, he is a player from Spain, currently sitting at 1100, but he has been higher. He's been 1250. He is also a map scripter. He made some of the maps for this season and the previous ones as well. If I'm not mistaken, he's the maker of Graveyard for this season. We'll check in a bit when it comes by looking at the site. And this is not his first season playing. He played last season for sure. And I forget about the previous ones. Now, as for his opponent, unfortunately, he does not have a AOE 2 Insight profile. So we'll have to look at the player list from the site. So it's going to be Lion. He is a player from the US. And as you can see, he's slightly higher than Jasouki with a highest of 1375, currently sitting at 1352. And if we scroll up, yeah, here it is. So, Jasouki, he is the maker for Graveyard. And yeah, here you can see who made which map we have right now in the tournament. So, let me check real quick on the Discord, because that's where they said which maps they played. Okay, so they played Graveyard and Glaciers. So Jasouki is going to be playing on the map he made, which I guess made him quite happy. So let's look at civs. Okay, we have the usual 5 random bands with Burgundians, Armenians, Dravidians, Gorjaras, and Poles. Lion, he picked Lithuanians, Cumans, and Koreans, and was left with and banned Italians and Teutons. He got his Chinese pick snipe. I know Lion likes to play Chinese. He played them a lot in the previous season, even on maps where you wouldn't expect them, like on Gugong, which was kind of an arena-like map. I remember him playing Chinese. I don't remember whether he won or lost that game, but I do remember he played Chinese. Jasouki, after banning Saracens and Persians and getting the Byzantines sniped, he was left with Mongols, Vietnamese, and Japanese. Okay, one sec. I need to ban the usual bot in chat. It was starting to get quite lonely in here without bots. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So overall, I like the draft. I like the draft from both players. Humans, they can be tricky to play. I don't think there are any maps right now in the tournament which really suit humans. You could make an argument for seasons because some generations it's easy to wall up. But then again, you have to rely on getting that specific generation. I think we're going to be seeing them on Team Glaciers. I forget who it was who played them there. Might have been Loredek in one of the sets I casted, but I might be mistaken. But I remember someone played them on Team Glaciers and they actually won because they managed to wall up and pull off the Kumo Boom with 2 TCs. Oh, actually, no. What am I talking about? I said they can be awkward in this tournament, but no, we've seen them on modes as well. They've been performing well. They lost some games, but they also won a couple of games. So yeah, there's definitely a place for humans in this tournament. Lithuanians and Mongols, they're good everywhere. Vietnamese and Koreans can be good everywhere as well. And Japanese... Japanese are going to be for graveyards. For sure. Okay, let me load up the game. And we'll jump straight into it. Okay, there it is. Let me change scene. And here we go. Okay, we have a Savannah-like generation here on Graveyard. We have Jasouki in the yellow playing as the Vietnamese. Okay, so it's not going to be Japanese here for him. Alright. He goes for the Vietnamese instead. Which is interesting, because I wouldn't expect Vietnamese to be played on a hybrid map. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have a very good eco. So you can play them basically everywhere, but... yeah, I'm a bit surprised. Lion, on the other hand, playing in the blue as the Lithuanians. That's more of a standard pick, if you will. Okay, this is interesting. So, with Lithuanians, there is this build where you basically send all of your builds to wood straight away on hybrid maps. So you can do a super fast dock, and then eventually you get to sheep. Lion is doing something in between. So he already went for the lumber camp with one of the starting builds. But then he uses the others to get to the usual 6 on food from a standard build. Which... I think I like that. Right, I mean, if you don't think you're going to be able to pull off a perfect build with Lithuanians, you might as well do something in between where you feel more comfortable. You're still going to have an advantage thanks to this, but this gives you less room for messing up, because you are going to be able to keep up villager production more easily. So I like this. Also, I forget who it was. There was one player who did this a lot. Who did the Lithuanian build a lot in previous seasons. I think it was... I think it was Chanchiraru who did it very well and basically had 0 idle time TC. Doing the standard one where you send everything to wood straight away. It was either him or one of the German players, either Ice-T or Weisenatic. I forget, I would have to go back to old racks. But yeah, anyway, he's already going for the dock. So is Jasouki. But yeah, this dock is going to be up by the time this one gets placed, basically. So again, not as fast as the standard build with the Lithuanians, but still faster, still good. I like it. It's easier to manage, at the very least. Lion already on the second board. Jasouki should be going for that any moment now. Walled up, he's filled nicely. Lion will eventually, I think, wall like this and get the fish. So far, quite the standard approach from the players. I think I saw... Okay, no, Lion did not push the deer. Okay, neither player is pushing the deer. So we've seen people do that, some other do not do that. Because it's quite far away from the TC. It might depend also on the generation. Because I think in some generations they're farther away than others. And if we want to be picky about this, I would argue that Lion, because of the generation, they're slightly closer to him, right? This and this. Whereas Jasouki, I mean, this is kind of the same distance, and you have this, but this is a smaller patch than this. But yeah, I mean, we're just being picky here. Players should be up at the same time, yeah, both getting loom. Yeah, and they both clicked behind. It's actually going to be, what, 1 second faster for Jasouki. Okay, no player took damage to their scouts. And both players will stop at 3 fishing ships. Third one on the way for Lion. Third one already there for Jasouki, so slight advantage there. And that kind of shows in the brass collected. Okay, we have 3 on gold from Lion, which tells me that we might see a second dock from him. Ooh, Lion takes the hit from the villager. So now... Well, no, actually, if they get to feudal at the same time, it's not going to make a difference in the scout war. Okay, second dock from Jasouki. If he goes for double dock, though, I think he needs more people on gold. Unless he doesn't want to invest too much into water and follow this up with scouts. Oh, and Lion is not going for the second dock. Wait, does he have a barracks? No. Ooh. Okay, now he's going for the second dock, but that's too late because it's going to be... Yeah, I mean, there's going to be 2 fires out by the time this dock goes up. So rough start on water for Lion. We got a blacksmith. Blacksmith, but no military buildings. I mean, Jasouki doesn't have a military building either, but he's going to be winning water, right? Or at least he's going to be able to kill the fish from Lion. Lion only... Okay, now he has demo. He's going to try and hide behind the dock. There's going to be a Vil repairing. Okay. He might be able to take one down from Jasouki. Oh, actually. Oh yeah, that's not good for Jasouki. He shouldn't have stayed here. He's gifting that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This might be a good demo. Ooh, okay. Okay, Jasouki. He loses the fishing ships. He's now going to have more fires, but that doesn't matter. Okay, Lion was trying to bring the fire back to be repaired, but there were the fishing ships in the way. Now he's using them as a distraction. All of these fires are weak. And there's a demo coming. There's a demo coming. Don't use it, don't use it, don't use it, do not use it, no! Yeah, it was not worth it, right? That fire was already dead, basically. I mean, he still has four fishing ships. Just one for Jasouki, not working. Okay, it's going down. Okay. So it looked weird for Lion at the start because he built his second dock in feudal, but yeah, he's going to win water. Okay, waste is the demo on the dock. Waste is another demo on the dock. But now we have 3 demos coming out for Jasouki. Okay, scouts are fighting here in the middle. We have a barracks for Lion. Are we going to be seeing any military building? Barracks going up for Jasouki, so we might see a switch to archers with that amount of people on gold. Okay, the good news for Lion is that he's keeping his fires spread out. I mean, he would have to spread this one out, but it's far away from the dock with the demos. So, yeah, those 3 demos, they will come out. And at best, they will kill 2 fires. This fire is 1 shot away from dying. I think this one can tank at least 1 shot. Yeah. So that demo goes down. Yeah. Yeah, he killed 2 fires and that's it. And he's not making any more. So Jasouki kind of gives up on water. He's dropping the market though. And he's got quite a lot of gold in the bank. So he might be able to click up to castle here, behind this. If he abuses the market and cancels a couple of bills. He's lucky that Lion is going for stable instead of archery range here. Because he's going to be vulnerable if he clicks up to castle. There it is. He's going to be vulnerable, but he's kind of walled up. And he has spears on the field, and he could just add more, right? If... Another barracks. Oh, Jasouki, please tell me this is Fire Lancers. Please. I hope it is Fire Lancers. I love that unit. But, yeah, I mean, if this was archers from Lion, then Jasouki would have a bad time defending. But since it's going to be scouts, you just need to keep your spears around your vills and you should be fine here. And you're going to be working with Vietnamese eco. Vietnamese eco too. So, yeah, you lost water. Lion will have this extra 1k5 food. But you're going to be up faster. I mean, not that much faster, but still. Jasouki should be able to easily drop a TC on this gold, or... either that gold or this stone. Although he would have to delete some buildings. Oh, I'm guessing this gold. Yeah, dropping TCs on this map can be quite awkward sometimes because of the elevation. Ooh, Lion actually has a nice spot here for a TC. It is a bit exposed with that hill right in front of it, but still. Woodline, gold, stone. Okay, we have castle age. Yes. Yes, it is Fire Lancers for the Vietnamese. Okay, so all civs getting Fire Lancers, they have some bonus applying to them, which is either specific to them or it's a general bonus that applies to them as well. So, for example, Koreans, they have a bonus which makes their unit, land military cost 50% less wood. That applies to the Fire Lancers as well. Vietnamese, they have a specific bonus for Fire Lancers, which makes them tankier. I believe it's 20% more HP. Yeah. Well, it's the same as the archery range. But yeah, these are beefy boys. Also, Vietnamese, they do not get Gambisons, which applies to the Fire Lancers. So, I mean, I guess that extra HP is kind of like having Gambisons for free, to some degree. I love this unit. It is quite expensive, because I think it's 40 wood, 60... Oh no, they changed the cost, the gold cost, if I'm not mistaken. Might be 55 gold. Yeah, it doesn't say here. So to a certain degree, they're kind of like an eagle, which costs wood instead of gold. It doesn't have the mobility of an eagle, but it's tankier and deals better with cavalry. And Jasouki is messing a lot of them. Now Lion, he already dropped the second TC. Okay, Jasouki, making a monastery, probably wants to go for the relics. He sees a couple close to his base. Doesn't know about that one. Wait. There we go. Yeah, the issue with the Fire Lancers is going to be the mobility. So they counter cavalry, but they kind of have the same problem that pikemen have, which is they cannot catch up with the cavalry. Okay, side siege workshop. Okay, this might be interesting. So Vietnamese, despite getting the Fire Lancers, they didn't get the change that Chinese and Koreans got, which is getting the rocket cards instead of the mangonels. They still get mangonels, as you can see. Actually, it doesn't show the rocket card here in Capture Age. I just noticed that. So Jasouki is idling all of his army just to chase these 4 knights. Couple of extra TCs or just sending 5 of them should have been enough. Now I'm not 100% sure, but I think that while... Okay, now he's going to split his army. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that while pikemen do not win against knights one-on-one, Fire Lancers might. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they might. Because again, they are tankier and they have higher base attack. Ooh, Lion snipes the mangonel, because the mangonel was alone. And we still have no extra TCs for Jasouki, who is going to be very behind in eco. We already have 3 from Lion. It's actually quite very easy for Lithuanians to drop extra TCs, because for every TC you get an extra 100 food. Archer range. Okay, he's going for a crossbow switch, I'm guessing. Which could work. Castle. I mean, this would have been an amazing position for a castle, but I guess he realizes he's open to pressure on this side, so he might as well go for a castle here. Fire Lancers will get in. I think they can... Oh, wait, no? You cannot walk there? Oh. Okay, so castle goes down. But yeah, I mean, they have 70 HP, 78 HP. They have 2 pierce armor. They can run underneath TCs, especially when you have TCs with just fletching and not Botkin. This is still open though. And this is going to be very good for Lion. Because, sure, he's been pressured. Jasouki does have the military advantage. But Lion has mobility. And he knows his opponent is kind of all in. Whereas he's dropping eco. So he knows his units cannot fight this. So might as well just send them into his opponent's eco and slowly but steadily kill it. Because that way, the moment he gets rid of this army, his opponent is basically dead. Because he won't have the resources to make more. Now, he needs to be careful because these things, they could take down the TC. Yeah, look at that. Arson is in. They are infantry, so they inherently get more damage against buildings. So yeah, this TC will go down. But there's going to be this castle, which will keep Lion's eco safe. Actually, TC stays up because of the repairing villagers and the castle. Okay, first relic. Ooh, it's not going to come in yet. So there's not going to be extra damage on these lighties yet. Jasouki got him some kills. He's still behind by about 30 vills. Oh, I like this by Lion. He's taking both the food and the gold. With the fishing ships. Did he get gillnets? He did, okay. Jasouki is getting closer to Imperial Age. Okay, Lion is switching to Militia Line, which is probably the right choice, right? Because Fire Lancers, they do count as shock infantry, so they take bonus damage from Militia Line. Same as Eagles. Now that said, you need to be careful when you do that, especially against Vietnamese, because I mean, to begin with, Lithuanians, they do not have a very good militia line. You're missing Gambesons, missing the last attack upgrade and the last armor upgrade. Vietnamese, sure, they're going for Fire Lancers, but I mean, these guys, they cost wood and gold, which is the same as archers. So it's not that difficult for Vietnamese to switch from these to archers, and Vietnamese love to be on archers. Okay, there we go. We have Imperial from Jasouki. Lion quite far away from that, and if he's making his switch to longswords, he's going to be staying longer and longer into Castle Age. Okay, Jasouki doesn't know about the extra barracks yet, so he might get caught by surprise by this switch. And as Vietnamese, you cannot just get chemistry and go into hand cannon because you do not get that. So if you want to counter the infantry, you will have to get into Arbalester. Or, well, or I guess CA. Because at least if you want to go into CA, you do not need to get the crossbow and Arbalester upgrade. But yeah, see, the longswords, they deal 6 extra damage to shock infantry. So they're going to be dishing out 17 total damage. They will get 14 because of the armor. So sure, they have more HP. They have the extra shooting attack, which is nice against infantry when you're closing the distance. But yeah. Now the good thing for Jasouki is that I think he saw the swordsman. So he will start thinking about a counter to those. I hope. Okay, he will definitely know about the swordsman now. Okay, we have Imperial. How much is Elite Fire Lancer? Yeah, he could afford it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, he's getting it there. It might get denied. Oh yeah, it's going to get denied. He needs to realize that. Actually? Ooh, just in time because Arsum was not in by the time he started doing that. Ooh, that was so lucky. So look at that. They went from 78 HP to 102. I mean, there's not many infantry units out there with this amount of HP. So you have Armenian champion with 100. The Armenian warrior priest, I think it gets up to 120, something like that. What else? Elite Teutonic Knight, I think, has 100 as well. Elite Obuk has 95. So yeah, this is this is an amazing unit. Now, I think one-on-one they still lose to the swordsman, but with these amounts, with this number advantage, you can probably take the fight. Yeah, especially when you already have all of the armor upgrade. So you're missing the attack upgrade as well. Okay, this time he's not going to be following with the whole army. I think these 13 Lancers will take the fight. Yeah, I think they can win. Not if the hill is... Ooh, no, no, no. He's taking shots from uphill. Oh, actually... Oh, actually, never mind. They're amazing. Holy. And he already has 3 traps out. And as I mentioned, Lithuanians, they don't really want to go into champions. And I think even lighties are not going to be able to do it against these guys. And they're actually very good at protecting traps compared to pikes. Because pikes, you just patrol them in front. And your opponent, he can try and come close to bait you. But if you do that with the Fire Lancers, you're getting shot. Right? Because they have the charge attack. So Lion realizes, I cannot do damage to that. I cannot fight that. Let's go and raid. And Jasouki, he's quite open. He's going to drop this castle. So he will have probably to move his woodline to this side. This Farmanico is going to be safe. He can just go to the TC. And to be fair, he doesn't need food at the moment. These units, they require no food. They have bonus damage against ships. Jasouki, okay, he might lose maybe 2 traps. No, just 1. That's fine. Okay, Lion is going into Elite Lighters. How many relics for? Okay, 4 relics, so these are going to have +6. Yeah, they do. And if you're fighting Lightis, ooh, bad move from Jasouki. These traps are exposed. He's going to lose all of them. And that basically kills his momentum. He's got 2 castles, so it's not going to be the end of the world to make more traps. But yeah, he's struggling for resources. Now he gets caught. Yeah, he gets half of his army caught by the Lightis and the Longsword. He's probably going to be winning this fight, but... And now we have a heavy CA from... Oh, no, never mind, it's... Elite Lies. Yeah, that looked like the heavy CA. Anyway. Ooh. Ooh, demo shot in Imperial Age. Did Lion get the... No, he didn't get the upgrade. Okay. Yeah, I think killing those traps killed Jasuki's push. And kind of gave Lion the game. I mean, Lion is ahead by 40 vills. He's going to have the army advantage as well. I mean, more like 30 vills because of the fishing ships, but these are still working because of the gold. Yeah, and these lighties, they can just run around, kill vills, and starve Jasouki for resources. So I think we might be close to the GG. Yeah, now Lion has all the answers he needs to the fire lancers. He's got two-handed swordsmen, he's got hand cannons. Okay, Jasouki going for another castle here in the middle, but we already have tribes out for Lion. He's going to be able to trap this one from the safety of his own castle. I think the moment these two castles goes down, that's basically it for Jasouki. He doesn't have access to that many resources. Ooh. Yeah, that's champion raid. It's going to be able to... I think 14 champions are enough to take down this TC. There's no flashing on that. Oh no, wait. That's Falcon. Never mind. Yeah, Jasouki calls the GG. So Lion takes game 1. It's a shame. I think Jasouki really had a good chance there to win. With the push he had going, with the faster imp and everything. I think... So there were, I think, 2 mistakes from him. And I believe I saw the same mistake in the other set he played and I casted on Graveyard. So he played too open. Right, when you have that kind of push going, you need to make sure that you do not have to look back at home, right? You need to make sure that you can focus on that. So you need to be walled. Just don't wall around your base or drop extra castles at home. That was the first mistake, and the second one was how he kept moving his army as a whole blob, if you will. So he has to react at home. He sends every single unit instead of sending just some of them, which was basically the reason why these tribes were, I mean, not these, but the ones who died over there were exposed. If he had, say, I don't know, because the tribes were over here and the lancers were over here. If they move together, then I think he can take down these 2 castles, at least. Lion cannot build these 4 ranges. He has to build them in the back. And sure, he still eventually gets to hand cannon. But then if these 2 castles go down, then the fire lancers can just get into the eco, and suddenly Lion doesn't have to food to produce hand cannons and champions. And that becomes an entirely different game. Do I think Jasouki wins from there? Not necessarily. But it gives him a good position, and if he's walled at home, he actually has an eco behind. So the moment he sees hand cannons, he can think, okay, let's add Arbalester or CA to support the Fire Lancers or Skirmishers. Oh, actually, he could get Elite Skirmisher, Imperial Skirmisher with the Fire Lancers. That would be insane. It's a shame, but I mean, I got to see Fire Lancers played, so I'm happy. Anyway, let's look at statistics, and we can move into the next one. Yeah, I mean, he was faster by almost 6 minutes to Imperial Age, which gives you a lot of room to work with and to make something happen. Okay, so let's see. Game 2 is going to be on Glaciers. Come on. Come on. Why is it not working? Oh, please. Okay, thank God. I got really scared there for a moment. Okay, so we have 10 Glaciers. Okay, I was right in thinking humans would be played here. And oh, we have Mongols. Ooh. Okay, that's a mistake from me from the draft, not noticing Mongols when there's 10 Glaciers. Okay, 10 Glaciers, you have two patches of deer available, which can range from 5 to 8 deers per patch, if I'm not mistaken. And you also get 4 boars. So, yeah, Mongols are going to be amazing on this map. I think... Yeah, this is going to be hard for Lion. Because, sure, you can go for 2 TC, boom. Getting a TC on this would be nice, actually, because you secure this woodland and this gold. You could try it on this stone. But, I mean, if you do that, I think the Mongols can get to castles so much fast anyway. And then they get step lancers and siege into your base, and yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah. Actually, LG, I want your opinion as well on this, because I've seen generations where this pond can be this big, right in the corner, separated from the rest, and I pointed out that that might be too much of an advantage because just one player gets it and the other doesn't. And many people disagreed with me because they said, well, there's no shore fish, so it doesn't make that much sense to go and fish boom there. But I think it's viable. Oh, okay, you agree with them. Okay. Even if you get something like Malay, you think it's not worth it? Or Malay, or, I don't know, Japanese, stuff like that? Okay, so back to the game. We have the second... Is that the second or the third board for... Okay, that's the second board coming in for Jasouki. Okay, he's going to mill this. It makes sense. There's 7. You probably do not want to waste too much time pushing them and use that scouting bonus to see what your opponent is up to. Okay, yeah, it makes sense that TCs are a better investment. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, second boar for Lion as well. He's now sending 6 to wood. Okay, he's going to have the mill. Will he have the... Okay, he already got loom. Is it going to be 19 pop up for the second TC? I don't think you need this many this early on. I think you send vills once you click up to feudal to get the TC. Okay. Okay, no, he's not going to be able to click up right away. Okay, after this build, he will click. Yeah, there we go. I'm actually starting to think this is not going to be a 2TC boom. We'll see. So Jasouki's just hunting away here. I think he took... Okay, no, missing that board. He's going for that right now. And he's not up yet. Going for gold now. Is he going to try... Okay, this is interesting. So he might be expecting a 2TC boom from the Cuman. So he's probably thinking, okay, let's ignore feudal. Let's go fast castle. It's going to be super easy with that, all of that hunt with Mongols. And we just go, I don't know, step lancers and siege and pressure him. But yeah, Lion is not going for the 2TC boom. At least judging by the barracks. Unless he wants to do something in the middle, so he's going for a second TC and the stable. Which, I mean, is doable. It's just not easy to sustain. Okay, no, there's a stable. And yeah, I mean, just Jasouki's mistake here was probably not scouting his opponent. He probably did not send the scout forward because he thought, well, I'm going fast castle anyway, so I might lose the scout. But this could be bad for him. I mean, he's going to be able to pull it off. And luckily for him, he's going to have a barracks because he went barracks. It's probably going to be stable and siege workshop. Sorry, not siege workshop. Blacksmith. So that once he gets to Castle Age, he can make a siege workshop straight away and get upgrades on the way up. So just like previous game, if yeah, there we go. If he only needs to, if he needs to defend from scouts only, spearmen are going to be enough. But he needs, okay, now he should have seen the 2 scouts now, so there should be spears coming out straight away. There's castle, but yeah. He's going to lose these vills. Fights back. Okay, no upgrades on the scouts, which is nice. Loses 1 vill. Yeah, there's the spears coming out. He's going to small wall that. These vills... I mean, unless Lion goes out there, they should be fine. I don't expect Lion to be going out there, especially when he knows about this hunt and this gold. He's probably going to be harassing this area instead. But Jasouki is losing... That's going to be the second vill dead. Oh, okay, saves there. Okay, nice. I think he needs a mill on these berries and eventually drop some farms. Sure, you got the hunt back here, but that's for vills working. Even with Mongols, if you want to make vills and step lancers, that's not going to be enough. Unless you completely stop. Yeah, you're not going to be... Okay, what do I know? Lion did go there. Yeah, that's another 4 wheels dead. So Jasouki gets the castle, but with no eco to speak of. He doesn't have a market, so he can't even send 10 bills to gold and buy stuff. He didn't wall the woodline. Yeah, this is a disaster for Jasouki. And smart play by Lion, by the way. He dropped the second TC. Once he realized his opponent was going fast castle. So Lion probably got into... He probably picked humans with the idea of going double TC boom. But then he saw Mongols and he figured, well, if I do that and I do not fight at all in feudal, I die. Because of the Mongol timings. So, sure, now we have Step Lancers. But we have an amazing advantage for Lion. More than double the vills. Dropping a dock, probably for... Oh, please let it be Demos. I hope it's Demos for... Oh, okay. Oh, it was just for a dock block, okay. Okay, Jasouki does not know about that. Lion does, so eventually he might go out there to wall it. That said, I know it's Cuman Palisades, but it's still Palisades against the Step Lancers. Right, so... Okay, Lion adding the archers. A fire, okay. This fire might go down to the Step Lancers. Yeah, it will. But yeah, for the time being, Lion, he's just booming away. He's fine. He knows he did enough eco damage to his opponent so that there's not going to be siege with the Step Lancers anytime soon. And Jasouki still doesn't know about this passage. And this game was played on the previous patch, so the pathing was still awful. I mean, it still is to some degree, but it was even worse. So he might be trying to click inside the base, but the Step Lancers just do not want to go this way. And he's still finding kills here with the scout. I think he killed one more. Yeah. Jasouki will not get inside. Ooh, actually there was a hole. Okay. This might be Jasouki's chance to get back into the game. He could break through this palisade and kill all of these vills. Ah, there's a TC there, so maybe not. Still. 53 vills to 19. Yikes. Oh, he's attacking the house instead of the palisades. Okay. We've got more Step Lancers from Jasouki. Okay, Jasouki just stopped build production. He knows going completely all in is the only way he's the only option he has to actually do something in this game. Lion could just garrison here. Okay, Jasouki's through. Demo damages those two. Yeah, it's still open here. But now these units are very weak. So TCs should be enough to deal with them. Okay, so Jasouki is still behind by a lot, but he's keeping the pressure up. But I mean, yeah, 1k gold in the bank for Lion. There goes the market. He can just... could probably buy his way up to castle and make a couple of monasteries and convert units. At this point. Jasouki back to making vills. Lion dropping a tower here. Why all the way out there? I mean, if you want it as extra protection for your Faras, might as well drop it here or here, right? Step Lancers could just go around here and kill it. Oh, because you wanted the woodland. Okay. I guess. Buys a stone. Is he going to drop another tower? Yeah. I mean, sure, I'm a fan of tower defense, but let's see if this does anything. I would like to see him walling all the way here. I don't think you need to go houses. I mean, you have cheaper military buildings. Just drop a couple of stables and archery ranges here and you're fine. Right? So 50. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're more expensive, but they have more HP, more armor. I guess they're bigger, so it's easier for these step lancers to attack them. But still. I mean, we've gotten to the point where Jasouki has killed more villagers than his opponent has, but he's got 1/3 of his opponent's eco. Humans should be clicking up anytime soon. Any moment now, but yeah, with some market abuse, he should be able to click up and queue a couple of builds and you're fine. Now that he's got towers, he should be okay. This is still open though. Jasouki now making vills, but I think that's a mistake, right? You know you should be behind by a lot. So I don't see the point in trying to catch up with eco. Yeah, there's castle from the Q-man. I think if you try to catch up with the boom, you just die here to the Q-mans. Yeah, second stable coming up. The moment Lion hits castle, he's going to be able to produce from these two stables. He could go step lancers himself. Yeah, triple stable, why not? He could go step lancers himself, and he's actually going to be able to keep up production with the stables and the TCs. Jasouki will not. Yeah, he's also ahead in eco tax. Jasouki just now got the wood upgrade. Siege workshop now, but I think this should have been here about 5 minutes ago, when the pressure first started. I mean, if he had a mangonel here, pushing with the step lancers, he could have taken down 1 TC, and then move on to the other. I don't think you want to pressure from here with the mangonels because of the dock. Yeah, there we go. 8 step lancers in queue. He still has resources for upgrade. He could go for the armor, could go for the attack. Monastery, that's nice. Quadruple TC booming for the Cuman. Okay. I guess. I mean, he can do it. 82 bills, he can easily do that. Yeah, and just like that, in a matter of seconds, Lion is going to be ahead in military. He needs to be careful. Ooh, yeah. Pathing not helping him. Oh, I thought he was... Okay, that changes everything. Okay, Jasouki having the same issue... I mean, it makes more sense now. But having the same issue from the previous game where he sends all of his army back home. In that case, it made sense. He actually split them up here. Still was not enough to prevent the Mangonel from going down. Yeah, Jasouki is now going to get flooded by the step lancers. Yeah, this forward base is going to get cleaned. Wait. Did Lion get that relic from Jasouki's side? No, right? Okay, no, it was from this island, I guess. Okay. I mean, that would have been cheeky to just go here with a monk and grab a relic. Yeah, 100 vills. Funnily enough, I don't think this score reflects how much ahead Lion is. And I think that's due to the amount of kills Jasouki got in Feudal Age. Or sorry, when he was in Castle Age with the Lancers running around Lion's base. Lion floating a lot of wood. He does have 40 farms though, so... I could probably go up to 60 at this point. He could start thinking about Imperial Age. He does have a monastery. He's going to need a second building. Yeah, he doesn't have it yet. He walled up here. That's nice. Still, you're against Step Lancer, so they could break in very easily, but you don't really have to worry about these Step Lancers. This is still open though. Yeah, Jasouki is just patrolling here, but doesn't realize the Step Lancers are over here. $50 TC for Lion, okay. He's got resources to go up to him. Let's see if he drops... Yeah, there it is. University, and then he's going to be up. I think the moment he hits Imp, Jasouki just calls it, because he should know. So he hasn't been in his opponent's base. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, the moment he gets hit here, he calls it. Alright, so Lion takes this set 2-0. I think game 2 was a little bit more one-sided than game 1. Game 1, again, I think Jasouki had a very good chance. Here, he kind of misread the situation. And again, I think it's due to the fact that he didn't have his scout forward. He thought the Cuman would just be 2TC booming, and he got punished for thinking that. Yeah. Yeah, Alliance just won because in the end he did manage to get the 2TC going, but later on, after opening aggressive, which again I think it was smart. I mean, it worked out, so of course it was a good choice. Yeah, nothing much to say here. Okay, so what now? So the original plan was to cast these two sets for today, but I mean, round one was a little bit faster than the first set was a little bit faster than expected, so I might as well do a third one. Just let me get, because I had, what did I have saved? Yeah, because I also have Metalmania against Loredek saved, which should be from from Spring 2 as well. Yeah, let me just get the drafts, and we can do that. Hey, so little intermission here. As I mentioned, I did end up casting Loredek against Metalmania live, but I kind of messed up in game one, and I casted game one without realizing I didn't change the overlay. So I casted the game without showing the game, and there were people watching, but they were doing what I tend to do as well, which is you just keep the stream in the background without looking at it, just to have something to listen to. So they noticed too late, and I noticed too late, meaning that the cast for game one was basically pointless. I did cast game two properly, and I'm going to show that afterwards. But as for game one and the commentary on the drafts and on the players, I will do it now. I'm going to do it now, offline. I'll just edit it into the video, and yeah, we'll go with that. I'm sorry about the issue we had, but yeah, it happens. Unfortunately, I do make mistakes. Okay, so with that out of the way, as I mentioned, we're going to have Loredek against Metalmania. Again, this was from Spring 2, round 5, as you can see, by Paradise Island being the map for game 1. But before we get into that, let's talk about the players. So, both these players have played before in the league, and I think it's the third season for both of them. Metalmania, as you can see, he is a player from Argentina, and he is sitting around 1458 elo at the moment, but he has a highest of 1650. And his opponent is going to be Loredek, currently sitting at 1740, which is also his highest. So he should be on a winning streak. Yeah, I'm not going to scroll down because I don't know when they played this, so I might end up spoiling the results. So let's not do that. He's a fellow player from Italy, and just like Metalmania, he's played in the league for a couple of seasons now. He got into the season, I think, when we had the space-themed season, so that's 2 seasons ago. And I think Metalmania got in at around the same time. Maybe he played in the Alaska season, but I'm not too sure. But anyway, as you can see, Loredek is going to have a slight advantage, elo-wise, about 100 elo difference when it comes to highest, actually more when it comes to current rating. But Metalmania in previous seasons and previous sets, he has shown to be able to actually take games from people who are like 100 or even 200 elo above him. So yeah, Loredek will have to be careful in this set. So with that out of the way, let's go back to the draft. As I mentioned, game 1 is going to be on Paradise Island, and then we'll have Canals for game 2, which has been picked quite a fair amount of times in the tournament. So players seem to be comfortable playing on that map. Now, as for bans, we have the usual 5 random ones, So Armenians, Huns, Mayans, Cumans, and Malay. Now Mayans and Malay, we've seen them both a couple of times on canals, and I think they've always found some kind of good results. Armenians, we've seen them on other maps, not really on canals. Huns, we haven't seen them in a tournament yet, which surprises me. And then Cumans, well, it's Cumans, right? You tend to see them mostly on modes, and we've seen them on team glaciers currently. Now, Magdek, also known as Loredek, he went on to ban Byzantines and Vikings. And after getting his Lithuanians sniped, was left with Italians, Portuguese, and Japanese. So, quite the hybrid / water-focused draft from Loredek. Metalmania, on the other hand, after banning Dravidians and Persians and getting his Koreans sniped, was left with Mongols, Goths, and Bengalis. And I would say his draft is probably not as water-focused as Loredek's. His only real water save was Koreans, which was sniped, and maybe that's the reason why Loredek sniped them. Bengalis, you could play them on water, but the issue with these two maps is that you do not play full water, right? You play water into some kind of land military aggression in feudals and then early castle. And Bengalis can kind of struggle with that, right? And not having access to knights. So it can be awkward to play them on these kind of maps. But yeah, anyway, that's the draft. Let's go straight into Capture Age, and we can take a look at game 1. Okay. So, Metalmania already starts with Loom, playing as the Mongols, and he's going forward with the scout and the ship. Okay, never mind. No, he was not going forward. He was just scouting. And Loredek here in the red playing as the Japanese. Now, I'm surprised to see Metalmania going straight for the Loom and staying at home, not trying to lame. But at the same time, there are jaguars or tigers or, aggressive animals here on the shoreline. So maybe he figured, well, I eventually want to get it to go out there. I'd rather get it now than forget about it when I'm going out and have my villain killed by the wildlife. So maybe that's what he was thinking. Already taking in the boar. It makes sense. With Mongols, you want to use that bonus as fast as possible. Also, on this map, you have 3 boars and a patch of deer. Now, granted, Metalmania's patch of deer is a little bit bad. I don't think you can push this deer. I don't think you can push this deer. Probably these two you could do something, but yeah, it's going to be awkward. I mean, Loredek's is not amazing as well, right? Because it's behind the woodline. But at least his deers are behind a woodline, not on a woodline. So Loredek playing as Japanese, already going to wood. He's actually been a little bit too greedy or too hasty with taking it to foot. There's going to be a lot of decay. Granted, you do not care as much, again, on this map because of the extra boar. If you didn't have the patch of deer, then maybe you would care, because that boar is basically a substitute for the patch of deer. But standard builds are on 2 boars and a single patch of deer. So here you get extra food compared to a standard build. So maybe you do not care as much about decay or about having this bad this kind of a long distance deer collection with the villagers. Now Loredek does something I'm not a fan of, and that would be using the scout to attack the tiger and take it down with that. I'd rather see him... Okay, nice walling. I'd rather see him send out the Vil with the scout. You let the Vil aggro the tiger, and then you attack the tiger with both the scout and the Vil. So that way, yes, you lose some HP on the Vil, but again, you can just wall it in, so you don't really care that much. Whereas you do care about scout HP, right? Because let's say Metalmania came forward now with the scout. and try to lay this boar, Loredek would have no HP on his scout to fight that. So it's risky, in my opinion, to do this. It is true that having this full HP Vil will allow her to just go out and redock on some other side without having to worry too much about the wildlife, right? If this Vil was weak, then the moment she goes out here, she would maybe get the kill on this. No, she wouldn't get the kill on this tiger, nor this, so she would be kind of stuck over here. But still, scout HP is very important. And that deer is going for a crazy... route. Now, this set was played before the new patch, so that might also be why we're seeing the AI being a little bit dumb when it comes to pathing. But yeah, both players... Actually, Loredek is not up to feudal yet. It's actually standard timing from Loredek here. Actually 20 plus loom. I don't know, sometimes you see 19 plus loom or even 20 without loom on hybrid maps as the standard build. But yeah. Metalmania being Mongols, he's up very, very fast. 17 bills. He did get loom at the start. And now, oh, he sent out the Vil without asking him to build something. Okay, taking the hill. He's got loom, so he'll take down the tiger. But he'll have to watch out for this one if he goes to dock over there. Loredek is going up. He's building a barracks, so this is going to be land aggression from him. And that Vil, will it die to the tiger? Ooh, yeah, the Vil dies to the tiger. Okay, so this dock is denied for the time being. Loredek now will see that. He'll probably have a laugh about it. And he's going to attack the dock. He's not going to be able to take it down because I think there's there's another Vil on the way. And it's unfortunate that this Vil came out at this timing and that Loredek's scout was weak from before, right? So back to what I said at the start. If this scout was not weak, because it had like half HP, Loredek would have taken out that Vil. Most likely. So Loredek back at home, he's on gold. He's making the archer range. He already knows about the galley, right? Because the galley attacked the scout, so if he was looking, then he should know. And Metalmania is walling up. He does have a barracks, but no second military building. So Loredek is going to have a small window to do damage before his opponent is able to react on land. Metalmania does not know about the archer range. It was actually clever for Loredek to make the archer range in the back instead of doing it on the front, because now his opponent will not know about it. Sure, it is going to delay a little bit the timing of the archers, but you can just make a second archer range forward afterwards, right? No blacksmith from Loredek yet, so there's not going to be fletching. Metalmania does not know about the archers and the spears. Actually 3 spears from Loredek, so he's probably expecting galleys and scouts from the Mongols, which makes sense. Mongols, they're pretty good at doing scouts. Now, Metalmania should have spotted that, or rather could have spotted that. Now, he'll definitely know about the units coming forward, but yeah, he's not going to be able to wall this. Wall is going to get denied by the archers. That Vil is going to be weak from the tiger, so eventually it could get sniped by the archers. Metalmania needs to be careful not to go too far out. Okay, never mind. I was about to say, if he went too far out, he would aggro a second tiger. And that would be disastrous. A nice tower here from Metalmania. It is going to protect both the gold and the wood line. And Loredek has made a single galley, probably to fight off Metalmania. He's now getting fletching, something that Metalmania will not have, but Metalmania will have the number advantage. Archers now, they push bills off of this woodline, and they're going to be make sure that Metalmania does not go to berries. And Metalmania, his only food income at the moment is 3 fishing ships, but these are Mongol fishing ships. They're not Japanese fishing ships, which work faster. So that's not going to be a great food income. And as long as Metalmania does not make a mill, he cannot make farms. So Loredek now coming out with the archers. They have fletching. The spearmen, they're not upgraded, but they do attack faster, being Japanese. Loredek will lose an archer. These 2 archers can just walk underneath the TC because there's no vills, and Loredek knows that. And now it's going to be 3 archers here attacking the vills. So 1 vill goes down. So far, 2 eco kills from Loredek. Metalmania has 3 deaths because he lost 1 vill to the tiger over there. That vill... Dude. Hello? Okay. He was sleeping. And now he's going to sleep forever. But anyway. And the tiger almost took a 2nd vill as well. So the wildlife has not been nice to Metalmania. First with the deers spawning on the woodline, and then with the tigers killing his vills. Loredek might be able to find another kill here on the mill. Let's see. Yes, he does. Spearman coming in clutch, and he's still keeping this one open. Wait, Metalmania had a vill over here, I think. It probably got killed by Loredek. Yeah. Okay, Loredek is going to break in through here. And Metalmania has no farms, so no food eco from Metalmania, aside from those 4 fishing ships. Man, Metalmania has not been lucky with the bugged units, right? The vill with the tiger, now the fishing ships just bumping into each other. Now those kind of issues should not be anymore in the game because they changed they made some changes to the pathing. Yeah, more archers coming in from Loredek. Now Metalmania got the mill up. He cannot take the berries, but at least now he can drop farms. But look at this. 4 farms, no horse collar, no double B-Dex. Loredek, 14 farms, horse collar, and double B-Dex. And I know I didn't comment on that, but he did get horse collar before dropping the farms. And this is one of the best strengths from Loredek, from his playstyle. When he plays hybrid maps or water maps, he is very good with the timings to switch from fish eco to farming eco. He always gets the upgrades needed, he always gets good numbers. He's very smooth in doing that, so... And he's up to castle. And look at that, he did not have to sell the stone. He actually built a market, but as you can see, he didn't bother selling anything because he could naturally get to the resources needed. And now he's through on this side as well. He could even take down the lumber camp if he wanted to. Right, he cannot really do any damage to Metalmania's eco at the moment because of the tower, soon to be 2 towers. So yeah, you might as well take down this, because I don't think he knows. Yeah, he knows actually that this woodland is going to be running out soon. So he knows that eventually Metalmania will have to go out either here or here. But if he goes here, then he can just sit behind with archers and snipe the bills. The best woodland would be here because it's in the back. But if you take down the lumber camp, then that's another 100 wood that Metalmania will have to invest to go out there. Now, in the meantime, Metalmania has won the water. He also took down the dock from Loredek. I wouldn't mind Metalmania sending out a couple of bills here to redock, so that you keep making use of that fish. Because at the moment you could use as much eco as possible if you're in Metalmania's position. But now Loredek hits Castle Age. He's going to get crossbow, he's going to get Botkin, and we have a forward siege workshop. So Loredek is going to be able to apply pressure directly into his opponent's face with the siege. And eventually, once he moves on from this area, he could even take out the towers. Because what's towers? They really do not do anything against mangonels. You need guard tower. But as you can see, Metalmania actually not as far away from castle as one would expect. He did use the market. He did sell the stone, which he was taking. And he should be able... Yeah, there we go. He's going to Apps Castle. But first mangonel out for Loredek. We also have a monk. Is it the tome? Yeah, Monastery tome. He's probably going to get the relics. Because again, this is Paradise Island, so you have 7 relics in the middle, which are guarded by tigers, but tigers do not attack monks, so he could go there and take them. Second mangonel coming out from Loredek. Only 3 vills repairing the TC. And Metalmania is going to be struggling for wood. Especially because, as I mentioned, this woodline ran out. So he will have to go out there. And yeah, Loredek does not know about that. If he knew, he could sit here with a couple of archers and completely deny that woodline and easily take out the TC. And look at that. Loredek will run underneath the TC, trying to snipe those veils. He knows that Metalmania will be forced to garrison them. But also, Loredek, he's got a certain amount of crossbows that he's actually fine with maybe losing a couple to the TC fire, if that means he can actually take down the TC with the mangonels. Now, I believe Metalmania will make it to castle. Yeah, okay, he's going to make it to castle. And now he can run with the bills and stop repairing the TC. Now, the issue with him is that, yes, you're at the castle, but you're going to lose the TC. You're not going to have the wood for a second TC. Yes, you're dropping a siege workshop, but you're not going to have any resources to make mangonels, because you're missing the wood, because you have no wood access. And all of Metalmania's eco is basically idle. Yeah, and Metalmania calls the GG. Because he knows he's done for. So Loredek takes the first game thanks to a very good aggression. And this has been kind of the theme on this map that I've seen. Every time I see a player maybe make some water in Dark Age but not actually fight for water and instead go for full land aggression, I mean, every time I see that, the player doing that, he's going to have success and he's going to win the game. So it's interesting to see as an approach to this map. At the end of the day, it kind of makes sense, right? You want the fish because it's there, and it would be crazy to not take advantage of it, but there isn't that much fish. So maybe investing into galleys, fires, and whatnot to fight for the fish and have complete control of it, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe, yeah, you make a couple of galleys, you loop around, snipe the opponent's fish, and you call it a day. So that if he wants to use what little fish is left on the map, he actually has to invest even more. But yeah, land aggression seems to be winning people this map. That's also probably due to the fact that players are very close to each other, right? Compared to other maps. So even walling up and you're fighting water is not really an option because your opponent is going to be in your base too fast. Okay, so a quick look at statistics. Yeah, Loredek quite ahead in rest collected. Faster to castle, of course. Way more villagers. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so that was game 1. Again, I'm sorry if I messed this one up live. Hopefully this will not worsen too much your experience of watching this tournament. So I'm going to end the recording for game 1 here, and I'm going to send back to the live recording for game 2, which is going to be on... I forget, I think it was Canals. Okay, here we are. Game 2. We have Loredek in the red playing as Portuguese against Gods from Metalmania playing in the grey. Okay. So Portuguese, I can see why. They're a good save overall. There's some water, so if you want to go for some water play and then add land military, it's going to be nice because of the discount on the ships. Eventually, when you get to berries with the mill, you're going to get some wood out of that. Your units cost less gold, so if you're going archers and ships, you do not need to send as many to gold. You can send more to wood, which is going to be easy, make it easier to balance things out. They're a good save overall. Gods? I'm curious. So their hunt is going to be lasting longer. And we have a chicken generation. Okay. Actually, I forget whether every generation on Canals has chickens. I think every generation has chickens. There's no deer generation. Oh, by the way, no, the fish boom thing was about Team Glaciers, not the previous game. Okay, Loredek just now getting the first boar. Metalmania might be getting his second any moment now. Yeah, I mean, gods can be dangerous on pretty much any map. I'm just curious to see how he's going to be playing them. So Loredek making his house here. Would like to see a dock here. Or here. So you have nice shore fish. You have the deep fish. I'd prefer the dock over here. Yeah. No, okay. Yeah, Metalmania's dock is nicer in my opinion. Closer to the deep fish. To shore fish close. Okay, so that relic generated in the woodline. Okay, we got a scout war here. Yeah, Loredek is going to send the Vil. Metalmania, he notices. So, quick reminder, Alchemy League is played on standard victory, so if Loredek wants to go for relic victory, he will have to cut through here and get that relic. Same for Metalmania. You could argue that that's kind of an advantage for Loredek. Because Metalmania is not going to be able to sneak around and get that relic without Loredek noticing. Whereas Loredek in the long run might have the easier time getting that to that relic naturally. Let's say he drops a TC here, eventually the wood line gets cut through and can get to the relic. Although I doubt we're going to be seeing an attempt for relic victory on this map. I mean, you could try, but I think there are just... If you play kind of passively and try and win by relic victory, you're going to get punched in the face. Thinking about it, I don't think there's any map on this in this tournament right now which makes it easy to go for relic victory. Maybe modes, but then again, it's arguable. Okay, Metalmania is up. Metalmania is up, dropping the second dock. Loredek 1 minute behind, so... I mean, Paradise Island, it's easy to get the relics. But you're so close to your opponent that I don't think it's easy to win by relic victory, right? And getting those relics requires so much attention because of the micro which is involved, due to having to load the monks in the transport ship, unloading them, get the relic, load them again, and unload them again. If you do that, you're going to take away too much attention from the rest of the game, and that opens you to, you know, to getting more easily damaged in other areas. I think if you build a monastery on the island, then your opponent just needs to go Imperial and he can trap it down from the coastline, no? I think every single spot on the island is rangeable from the shoreline. And you cannot build docks in the middle water to, I don't know, make galleys or demos to take down the traps. I mean, probably not every single spot on the middle map, on the middle island, but there's a lot of mountains, right? So it's also awkward to drop down a monastery and a castle to defend it. So I don't know. But of course, it also depends how you approach it. Okay, so Metalmania, he's ahead in fires. Loredek still doesn't have his fires out. But now, these are Portuguese fires, so they have more HP. So as long as numbers are the same, he should be the one winning the fights. He's going back, he knows he's behind, so he's adding a demo. Okay, just go back. Go back and lure him in. Ooh, this could be a nice demo shot. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, Metalmania now sees that. Ooh, nice. Nice demo. Okay, Loredek is going to clean this. He's almost completely walled. There's a scout there, but it's not going to do anything, because it's very low on HP. I mean, 4 hits from the Veil and it goes down. Yeah, but now Loredek needs to add some more demos, I think. Because the thing about demos is that the moment you use them, then suddenly your opponent is reminded about their existence. And so you should be expecting demos from your opponent as well, right? Okay, Loredek just repairing the fires. There's 2 demos, so he needs to be careful. He sees no... Ooh! Yeah, nice demos. I don't think they got the Vil. Okay, there's another demo from Loredek as well. It is kind of blocked by the fires. It's so awkward to micro on this because of the way you put down docks on canals. Nice demo from Loredek now, who still has the fire advantage. Okay, he's already taking berries. So that's going to be nice for wood income. Actually, he's still open, by the way. Because he wall like this. But these... Yeah, these shallows just give access to his base. So he needs to either wall this, or drop a dock here or here. Actually, I think you need to drop it here, because if you drop it here... That shorefish prevents you from docking that. But it can be walked upon. Walked on, sorry. Okay, Loredek now dropping the farms. Metalmania still not dropping any farms. He's now switching to land military, but... Yeah, again, this is walled. This is open. But there's the threat of demos, right? So you don't really want to walk through here with the archers, where you could get a demo exploding in your face. Okay, could have been a better demo, but sure. Oh, this could be a huge demo from Metalmania. Ooh, nice. Nice, okay, could have been worse. I think... Oh yeah, those were 2 demos going down. Okay, Loredek. Okay, he's going to archers himself, but he's getting closer and closer to Castle Age. Yeah, I think if you're Loredek at this point, you just wall like this. And you just go up. Yes, you could wall like this, but then you lost water control, so... Demos, sorry, not demos, fires could just break through your palisades. So you do not want to take that risk. Mark it, sell the wood, and go up. And you're fine. And does Loredek... Okay, Loredek has some nice stone here in the back, so he could go for... Yeah, he could maybe start taking it. He's got a lot of villagers on wood, so... Could just delete the palisades, drop a mining camp, and get this stone as you're going up. So that way, once you get to castle, you can just drop a castle and make organs, which should be nice. Okay, yeah, we have castle. Okay, I thought he would be up much faster than his opponent, but... Metalmania getting closer and closer. Now, that said... Metalmania is gods. So, if he decides to go to stone himself on his way up, and that stone is safe, right? Just need to wall a bit like this, and like this to the woodline, and you're going to keep it safe. Of course, if you do that, you kind of leave the gold exposed. But if you go to stone now, yeah, there we go. I mean, you go to stone, your gods, you get to Huskars, you start spamming them. Portuguese are kind of going to struggle until they get to Imp. Ooh, I didn't notice this, and probably didn't... Yeah, I don't think Loredek noticed that fast enough either. And he's just going to ignore them. I mean, that makes sense. You just get to castle. Yeah, you just relocate. Yeah, you drop a TC there and you don't care. He's off gold though, so maybe... I mean, it's just 3 archers, right? You get a couple of crossbows out here and just kill them. That's open. That's open. Loredek needs to be careful. That's open. Let's see. He doesn't notice. There's a... yeah, there's a TC there. Just delete the palisades and run through. Oh, but at the same time, Loredek got through here. He got 4 kills. He's not going to get through here. Yeah, and Metalmania will have enough stone for a castle. Wait, is he going forward? No way. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that's... I mean, honestly, you know your opponent's army is here. You might as well just walk around here and drop a castle here, right? Yeah, I mean, he knows about that gold, he knows about this TC. He didn't see... Okay, I mean, yeah, sure, that's a safe castle. I don't mind safe castles. But... 16 vills here, just send them forward and drop a castle here. And that denies the gold, that denies some farms. And you have an easy access to your opponent's eco with the Huskars. That would have been insane. Okay. Yeah, so just mangonel defense here. Metalmania is actually ahead in eco. That's the fish, okay. 2 TCs for both players. Okay, Loredek, he's getting this stone for a castle himself. Now, here's the question. Do Organgans counter the Huskars? Yes and no. I mean, if you can get a good mass of Organgans, they're going to be good. Huskars, they're going to be better than standard infantry, of course, but I think they still die if you get a good amount of organs. And I mean, organs, they cost wood and gold, so it's actually easier to keep up production of organs than it is to keep up Huskar production. Okay, that's the castle I wanted to see. And Loredek, I don't know if he... Ooh. Okay, so I don't know if he expected this castle because he saw the archers. And so he thought, oh, there's archers forward. So there's going to be a castle drop. Or if he drops the castle because of the Huskars. But now he's in trouble. I mean, sure, he's got the castle. Huskars, no upgrades. Oh, actually the TC here went down for Metalmania. I didn't notice that. Hold on. There's 30 crossbows here. No ballistics, but they do have thumbring. I saw that. So... I mean, this is one way to counter the gods, right? You just destroy the Rico so they cannot make Huskars. And you take it from there. Ooh, that could have been... One for one. Wait, what? Wait. How was... I mean, I can understand that first shot doing not one shot in the manga, but no damage? Really? Okay. So there's two Huskars and a Spearman walking through Loredek's eco. That sounds like a start of a bad joke. But yeah, Metalmania calls the GG. I mean, these Huskars, they will die to the organ guns. And yeah, this is the only eco he has left. So sure, you can make Huskars. That's nice, but 30 crossbows, so 2 volleys, kill the Huskars. And you're not going to have enough to overwhelm the crossbows. So yeah, Loredek can just kite them. And eventually roll forward with more siege and take down the castle. Hey Chris Jones, thank you. Thank you for joining. See you. I'm a little bit sad that we didn't get to see gods in late imp. Or rather in imp on this map, because they do get Dromons. And Dromons could be interesting on this, especially when once you win water. But yeah. Loredek takes the second game, so takes the set 2-0. And this was a strong show. I mean, he does have the elo advantage here because Loredek is around 1700. Metalmania, I think, is around low 1600, high 1500, something like that. But still, in previous sets and previous seasons, Metalmania has taken games from people who were quite above him when it comes to elo. So he's not an opponent to underestimate. But Loredek says, I don't care. I win. And so, yeah. I also think the two maps they played kind of fit into Loredek's strengths, because one thing he does really well is switching to that water eco to that land eco when it comes to food. And both on Paradise Island and this one, yes, you want to make fish at the start, but then you want to go into land eco quite fast. Not like on maps like Highlands where you have more fish available and you invest a lot more on water. So yeah, they really played into his strengths. Okay. I think that's going to be it now for today. Sorry again about the whole mess with the first game. I'll fix that when it comes to the with the upload to YouTube. So for those who are going to watch this on YouTube, they will have everything right. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for joining. I'll be seeing you next time, which is probably going to be, if not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, because I'll be gone for a couple of weekends, so I want to get some streams during the week. But yeah, oh, Neos is streaming, okay. Let's trade him.